Hi, good afternoon. My name is Mini Cortez, and today I will be focusing on an article that's titled City of Fresno Camping Ban to Go into Effect Next Week. The date that this article was released was on September 17th, 2024. So I'm just going to give you a brief summary of what the article is about. So the city of Fresno's mayor, Jerry Dyer, along with the Fresno Police Department, have adopted a new ordinance code for the homeless community in Fresno that will take place September 23rd, 2024. And just a brief review of what ordinance codes are. So they're basically just certain codes that are strictly for the city that applies them. So this ordinance code won't go into place for other cities that are nearby. They basically just focus on the city that creates them. So as we continue in the summary of the article, the ordinance that's going to be taking place will prohibit the homeless community from camping, sitting, or lying down on public property, which includes streets, sidewalks, or alleys. And those refusing to comply or move their property will be in violation of the ordinance, which can result up to 1 year in jail, $1,000 fine, and finally, the city storing the property of anyone who is arrested. So this article goes ahead and continues by interviewing a homeless advocate by the name of Des Martinez. And Ms. Martinez states the following, which I will quote: "If you guys want us off the street, then we need a location for people that want help to go to, so they're not beaten, so they're not raped or stabbed." So right here we see the frustration in Martinez's voice, and then she is definitely showing concern for the safety of the homeless community. She's curious to see where are they going to go after they are asked to move. How are they going to be kept safe if they are no longer able to stay in public areas? We are aware that the homeless community stays in public areas in order because it's safer. They're well lit and they're not going to be susceptible to crime by other people that are living on the streets. So this is basically what Des Martinez is advocating right now. She's trying to protect the safety of the homeless community. As we continue in the article, we then hear from the Fresno County Board of Supervisors, who states that after cleaning up the homeless encampment, they want to provide resources such as temporary housing, public health, therapy, and the list goes on and on. And they want to prevent individuals from jumping from one city to another, which ultimately is what's going to happen. If you are asked to move and you're sitting, laying on a public road or a public sidewalk, you're going to have to be forced to go somewhere else. Obviously, this code is prohibiting from people doing that. So they're going to be forced to go to another city that doesn't have ordinance codes that goes against them laying down on these public streets or camping out there. So they're definitely going to be going to other cities or other counties that are nearby. And so that basically sums up the article. And I believe that this topic has to do with an ethical issue, which is very similar to what we've been discussing in the textbook. And an ethical issue is just a broad term that relates to not just one person, but a large number of people, such as a community. And in the text, we read about how to analyze ethical issues and policies. And I believe this issue could benefit from the ethical analysis that the textbook represents. And there's basically 3 steps to analyze an ethical issue, which are as follows. So the number one thing is identify the facts. So we definitely want to see if community leaders will try to get a ballpark of how many people are actually homeless and will be in need of these resources. So we want to try to get a number of how many people we need to be accommodating. And is this going to raise taxes for the community in order to accommodate the homeless community? Will crime rates rise? And is the safety of the homeless community at stake if we pursue this ordinance? I mean, we all know that if we ask the homeless community to move, they're definitely going to go to a more secluded area where it's not public and they will be more susceptible there for crime. And step 2 is identify values and concepts. So, one thing to consider is that public property should be open to the public. Whether someone is able to sleep on a public sidewalk or on a public park bench may be up for a legal debate. And finally, step 3 is to identify dilemmas and resolve them by using an ethical system. So, the homeless community is definitely an ethical issue that should be addressed in an ethical manner. There are a lot of pros and cons that come with attempting to resolve this issue. I'm aware of that. And there's no black and white answer to this issue, unfortunately. So, this is this issue may require a lot of trial and error due to the complexity of the issue. So all in all, I believe that this ordinance is only going to raise more issues for the neighboring counties and cities. So for those homeless individuals that decide to stay in Fresno, will definitely need to find other places to stay, or maybe just go under the radar and try not to be on the public areas or the public views. And other things that I think will rise due to this is going to be a higher demand for police officers, because now they're going to need to be patrolling the area in order for them to prevent these people from staying out on public streets. So there's definitely going to be a higher demand for police officers. And as far as resources go, I'm certain that there won't be enough to accommodate everyone that needs them. Like I said before, this is a complex issue, and that will require considerable critical thinking and good judgment to resolve. So that go ahead and concludes my video, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Thank you.